Thank you guys. And I'm Jennifer Bagley, CEO of CI Web Group. You guys, we're a digital marketing agency, been in the industry for a little over 10 years. These are all of our locations. So we're kind of spread out all over the world, which is really cool because we run basically a 24/7 clock. We've got 3 different shifts that run all day. So if you can imagine, I have my first meeting in the morning on the West Coast at like 7 in the morning, 6 in the morning for our East Coast group, 7 in the morning for our Texas and Mid-States group. And then boom, starting at 8 p.m., 9 p.m., and 10 p.m., that's when our evening meetings start. So sleep is fantastic when we travel. All right, the company is comprised of a whole bunch of different types of subject matter experts. The reason that I bring this up is because each one of these guys and gals is critical to being able to put together an effective marketing strategy. In most presentations, I always say, never hire a triple F to do your website. Anybody want to guess what that is?
Friends.
Perfect. Friends. What else? Family. Perfect. Anyone want to go for the third one, but keep it legal? I'll just say friends, family, and fools. I've heard lots of different examples. So, you guys, here's the challenge. Well, let me ask, have any of you hired like the guy, Bob, just one to build your website?
Bob.
Yes? His name doesn't actually have to be Bob. I actually had a guy that says, yes, I hired Bob and I can't stand him. Like,
Bob really did a good job.
Bob did a good job. Yes?
I can't even find my website.
You can't even find. Okay. Anyone else hired one guy? Okay, so here's the challenge. How many of you know a developer? A coder? Anyone have a friend that's a coder? What are they like?
They're engineers, so I'm probably so.
Well, you can talk about yourself.
No, that's okay. I just know a lot.
Very good. So, any thoughts on what developers are like? Guess. A coder.
They're introverts.
They're introverts. Many times, yes, absolutely. They stare at a screen that looks like the Matrix, black text, green code, pretty much all day. Their idea of a Friday night is possibly in their garage with a handful of their friends they've never met before. Possibly one of them's name is Toxic M54. Playing some kind of game. These guys are geniuses in many, many, many ways, and not so much in other ways, okay? Those guys are the ones that know how to code. They're the ones that do everything. Like, it's no different than a car, a website. You have an engine, and this engine has lots of moving parts and working parts and pieces and so forth. The guy that did the design, the graphics design for the car, is not the same guy who did the engineering of the infrastructure that makes this thing run. Make sense? Any of you know a designer? What are they like? Graphics designers. Thoughts? Here, let me ask. Do they dress nice? What do you think? Are they creative?
Yes.
Does their living room look nice? Do they go out with real people on Friday night? Yes, absolutely. How about an engineer? Anyone know an engineer? Okay, what are they like?
Creepy.
Creepy, I'll take it. Squares, I got it. You didn't do this, I saw this. Okay, good, what else?
Detailed.
They're detailed. Are they fast decision makers? No, they're taking their time because they're doing what? Analyzing.
They're being detailed.
They're researching. They're like that. They're still researching, right? Not making a decision because they're researching. That's an SEO or search engine optimization engineer. Anybody notice social media marketer? No? These guys are like social butterflies, friends with everybody. The more friends, the more fans, the more likes, the more conversations, excited. You wonder what they're doing with your money or your time, if you're ever going to make $1 back from their efforts. Okay? All of these guys, this is a challenge. You cannot launch a digital marketing program without them and more. You got to have content writers, you got to have social media people, you got to have people that understand and know pay-per-click. Google on its own, Google Webmaster, has hundreds and hundreds of thousands of requirements. Do you think it's possible for one person to know them all? It's impossible. Do they change frequently? This is really interactive, by the way. Do they change frequently? They change every month. It's like literally trying to build or put in an air conditioning system on a house that's in quicksand. It's changing constantly. So it's not possible for Bob or the friend to be able to do this. It's just not possible. You have to have an army, but you don't need everybody. You need 10% of everybody. So if you think you can hire a marketing person in-house, pay that person $5,000 a month or whatever it is, and that person can take care of your marketing efforts, does that make sense? Will they come with the personality types, the skills, the knowledge, the know-how to be able to execute it? Probably not. So you have to be really, really careful. You guys, this program that Ferguson and Air Cold and Day and Night have put together is absolutely fantastic. We've been in the digital marketing industry. Our executive team is a group of entrepreneurs. We've built, bought, sold businesses inside and out, which is why I can talk real about all the people that work for us. Because technically, what do all these people think is right? What do they think is right? Their area. And they require management. They require direction, prioritization. They don't have the knowledge of what it takes to build a business, run a business, make money, address operations, and make sure the business is profitable over time. That's not their gig. What they are an expert at is design or development or coding or social media or SEO and so forth. They require management. Do you think it's something you can manage? It's impossible. You guys, it's hard. Like, this is what we do all day long, and it's still hard for us. We have managers upon managers just to be able to call a two-letter acronym if they're telling us something. Do you know what I just was talking about? If they say it's going to take blank amount of hours, we're like, nah. Okay, so we have to, you got it. We have to make sure that we've got the right people in place and that you guys have somebody that's managing that and actually thinking through the process. This program is the first time I've seen a distributor and a manufacturer come together and actually build a program that delivers the exact infrastructure that you need in order to be able to build the foundation for your business and grow your business and have enough flexibility to be able to change plans, change scope, and so forth as you move through this, okay? So we're gonna go through the dealer program, and then I'm gonna explain a little bit about kind of each individual area. How many of you feel like you've got digital marketing down? Or how many of you feel like it's this kind of black hole? How many of you have an arm that will lift further than here? You said you weren't tired. I asked. This is a disclaimer. Are you guys comfortable with digital marketing? Do you think you need it? I got a yes. Yes, 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 yes. Fine. Fantastic. Where's my phone? Do you have my phone? Below me. Awesome. How many of you has one of these right now? Grab it and put it in the air really fast. That's the fastest thing I've seen you do. Because this is attached to your hip 24/7. Jeez. Okay. All right, I don't mind if you take pictures. I don't mind if you take pictures of the screen. I don't mind if you take pictures of me. I prefer this side. Just kidding. Okay. All right, you guys. The main objective of this is really, really simple. We want you guys to have a plan that's easy, and I'm going to put a disclaimer in this, in a very, very difficult and complex industry. Digital marketing is not easy. It is difficult. And anybody that says that it's easy and works like this is not telling the truth. There are billions of pages on that internet. Billions. You might want to be just number one of 300,000, number one of 1 million, and that takes work. Consistent work. Next is we wanted to make sure that you guys had an inexpensive marketing plan. Because of the buying power of Ferguson, they're the ones that are able to put this together the way that it's structured. The average dealer that goes into a marketing agency and tries to pull together the same comparable services in an apples to apples, you guys, it's not possible. There's no way. Ferguson has a tremendous amount of buying power, and that's really why this program is so effective. And doable from a financial standpoint. Increase dealer leads. How many of you want to grow your business? No more leads. I have a 1. What do I got? Yes? Would you like to become more operationally efficient?
Oh, yeah.
So what does that do to your profit margin when you're more operationally efficient? Goes up. Okay, so we need to be very careful. A business owner is going to think about the fact that I have to leverage technology to become more operationally efficient, at the same time be able to generate new leads and opportunities. Those two combinations done together and carefully allow my margins to grow, which is going to make me more profitable. Fair? All right. We want to increase conversions. So generating new leads, kind of. It's like the company that says, oh, your traffic went up. Awesome, but what did it net me in new opportunities? And if a new opportunity lands at your front door, how are you taking care of them? Are you able to convert that into new business? And finally, increase sales. So in order to do that, yes, we got to get you guys in front of more potential customers. We've got to help increase leads. We have to help you increase and understand what a conversion is and how to get there. And those are different steps. Those are all very different processes. And there's different kind of analysts that understand each one of those areas. They have to be thought about differently. So we have to do the things that are going to help you guys close your business. All right, you guys, first things first. We have to decide or come to an agreement in this room on how consumers shop for your and every other service. So in order to do that, this is the only thing that technically matters at this point. In order to do that, I want you to not think like the owner of a company for just a minute. How many of you are dads? I love how fast your hands go up and how high they go up, something you're proud of. I would say the same thing. Okay, how many of you grandparents, uncles, and so forth? I just want you, husbands, I just want you to think, like he did that. Your wife will have to redo it and take it on video. Okay? All right, so as dad, head of household, as husband, something breaks in your house, something that you're not familiar with, you can't fix it yourself. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You want a new pool in your backyard. What are you going to do?
I'm going to talk my wife out of it.
Hurricane just hit your house and ripped off your roof. What are you going to do? You're in California. What are you going to do?
Call my insurance company.
Call your insurance company, okay? Then what are you going to do?
Go online to figure out what's going on.
Oh, fantastic. I love the fact. Great. So you're going to go online and you're going to search for what?
A roofer.
Search for a roofer, search for a pool guy, search for whatever. A realtor.
Realtor. You're going to buy a new house. Fantastic. It's like me. I trade my car if I get a flat tire. Okay, so that's the first solution. Anyone else have another option? What would you do if you needed to hire somebody? You got to hire a plumber. You need to find somebody to remodel a room.
Call Bob.
You're going to call what?
Call Bob.
Call Bob. Call a friend. Can I get a friend? Okay. Here's the thing. I would literally rather listen to a group of soccer moms, preferably more than you, because they participate. They don't have all these sassy Snapchat. Okay, so I'm just kidding. I would literally, though, rather listen to a group of soccer moms tell me how they would make these decisions than listen to a marketing and ad agency any day. Why? Probably accurate. Problem is, as business owners, we're subject matter experts and we get so tied up in our own business that we actually do things that we would never do. Here's the best example. When you go home and you check your mail and you grab all that mail out of your mailbox, where do you go first?
Garbage can.
Garbage can. Awesome. I thought this was California. What happened to recycling?
Recycle can.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Now, if you see an HVAC postcard, what do you do?
Get a what?
HVAC postcard. See a competitor's postcard, what do you do?
Usually from Kevin Comerford, so I did the same thing.
You know? Okay, so I like that. I like that. That's real. So here's the thing. As dad, I go to the mail, I grab all the junk, I toss it in a pile, I toss it into the recycling bin. As business owner, I look for the HVAC thing and I want to repeat what he's doing. What do you think all the other dads are doing that don't own an HVAC company?
The same thing when we're recycling and chucking.
Exactly. You have to be really, really, really careful that being a business owner doesn't alter your perception so much that you do things that if you step out of your business owner mindset and you jump into I'm just dad down the street, what would they do? And then stop. Like stop, slap your own hand, go have a come to Jesus meeting in the mirror with yourself, okay? We have to stop thinking like business owners in some instances, and we have to get down to the consumer and how they buy, how they shop. As a speaker, I love it. I'm an entrepreneur, okay? I happen to own and run a digital marketing company with my partner, and I listen to advertising companies all the day pitch garbage, trash, junk. I don't have to be retrained because I wasn't born and raised in that industry, okay? But I can call it when they're presenting something that makes sense on their fancy graphs and charts and everything else, but it doesn't make sense to me as a consumer or to the hundreds of consumers that I've spoke to, and I've asked them quite simply, how do you shop? How do you buy? People buy two ways. Number one, they go to Google and they do a search. That happens a few different ways now. One, they go to a computer and they type it in. AC repair, where are we at? Pleasanton. Lots of hotels, okay? AC repair, Pleasanton. AC service, Pleasanton. AC installation, Pleasanton. AC maintenance, Pleasanton. Furnace repair, Pleasanton. Furnace installation, Pleasanton. Furnace change out, Pleasanton. Furnace tune up, Pleasanton. All of your primary key phrases. That's one way. The next way a consumer searches is what? Siri, I need a AC repair company in Pleasanton, California.
Okay, here is what I found.
That's a very different search. Because the key phrase is, Siri, I need an AC repair company in Pleasanton. I'm going to get a different list of results than if I just typed in AC repair Pleasanton. Make sense? AC repair, San Ramon, well, San Ramon. Best Instrument Repair, American Asphalt Company, BMAO Amusement Repair.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what Siri's gave you for that phrase.
You know why Siri gave me this for this phrase?
Because you said AC.
Okay. Also because these are all of the people that have Google Maps business listings. They have a Google Plus account and they have the most positive reviews and the most reviews for their Google business listing account. Google business listing is free.
What does it do with the phrase that you gave it?
Yeah.
AC repair?
Well, that's for asphalt.
Yeah, unless you're going to read.
One of them is. One of them is. Hang on a second. Air conditioner repair, Pleasanton?
Here is what I found.
So we have J.E. Moore in the room. Service Champions Heating and Air in the room. Signal Heating Air Conditioning in the room. All right. That's Google Maps. Ooh, Scott. I have so many of these things on there falling off. You should see my back right now. Thank you. Okay. All right. So you guys, two ways. Literally two ways. One, they go to Google and they search. Right now, it's happening on here. This requires you to have a mobile responsive website. This is what you should be worried about. This is different. This is where we're headed. How do you get your website to display when somebody does a search from a 1-inch by 1-inch watch? And what do they see when they get there? Right now, we're still trying to get the contractor industry here. Second way people purchase, they ask for a referral. When they get a referral to ABC Heating and Air Company, what do they do next? They search what?
Reviews.
Perfect. ABC Air Company reviews. Those are the two ways people buy. The majority. There's exceptions, sure, but I don't want to spend my money on exceptions. Those are the majority of people the way that they shop and the way they purchase today. It will change, but that's how it plays out today. So if you know that, where should you put your time, energy, and money? We should do postcards.
Flyers.
How about TV? Radio? XM doesn't exist? All right, you guys. We have to effectively make you guys a magnet on the internet. We have to make you a magnet. So you have two different kinds of marketing, inbound marketing and outbound marketing. Inbound marketing is you become a magnet, you get in front of people where they already are, when they already need you, for what they already need. Outbound marketing is, I take a bunch of postcards, I take a television show, I take a radio, a commercial or something, and I throw it over, get on my knees and pray. Somebody calls. You've done that, okay? You have to think about it, right? If you do a mailer, if you do a flyer, and you send it out to 1,000 people, 1,000 households, and you got to pick everything. It sounded so good when the ad agency was talking to you. You know, you got to pick the color of the house, how many people, what their income was, what the wife looked like, the dog, they have a cat, they have a white picket fence, they're driving a Tahoe, whatever, right? And you send out 1,000 mailers, what do you have to pay for and when?
Pay for them all now.
You pay for them all now, regardless of what? Okay, regardless if they went directly to the recycling bin. If you took the same $1,000 and you put it on a Google pay-per-click ad as a budget, when do you pay for it? If somebody clicks it. So we'll just roll with that. All right, so we've got to make you a magnet. We have to capture leads, nurture prospects, convert sales, deliver amazing results so we can start getting referrals, upsell customers. You know, the average consumer cannot remember the name of their HVAC contractor, even if service was done within 90 days. Realtors are really trying to get this down. Realtors are like heavily focused. There's a big population of them that understand what it means and how important it is to be top of mind and make sure that their customers, who are only going to need their services about the same frequency as you, that they stay in front of them. We have to do the same thing. And finally, get referrals. So, that being said, this program includes the following. One is we have a dealer webinar series, which we're launching this month. It is awesome. All of this stuff is complicated. There's tons of it. There's so many different acronyms and little details, and we've got to get to the point where you're familiar with the difference between what a local listing is, what a directory site is, what a membership site is, what a social media site is, what marketing efforts are going to provide you with compound interest impacts on your business, last forever, where your dollar is worth 100 times more 5 years from now than today. If you invest $1 today, would it be great if it was worth $100 2 years from now? Versus you invest $1 today and burn. It's fireplace money. Okay, simple interest investments versus compound. All of these things we'll cover in the webinar series. You guys, it's recorded. Hopefully you can attend live. If you can't, no problem. It's recorded. You guys will get an email with that as well. At least learn enough to be able to ask good questions, not get burned. How many of you feel like you've been burned by a digital marketing company? Anyone? Yes. I rarely talk to people who don't. And sometimes people who don't think they've been burned, once we get into it and we start looking at it, it's just because they didn't know better on certain things. So education is key. Okay, custom marketing plans, a dealer locator, training, resources, a marketing portal, and live events just like this, which are powerful. Here's how the program works. There's 3 different levels, okay? You have the standard level, which basically, if you guys are committing to sales of day and night equipment between $75,000 and $150,000, you could qualify for the standard program. The distributor is going to be investing $9,000 up front based on a commitment. I have never seen that. How do co-op programs usually work? What happens? You have to earn the money through sales. Then you have to purchase whatever services. Then you have to apply to get your money back. And hopefully 9 weeks later they approve it, and then you get a reimbursement check for whatever it is that you spent. In this situation, they're covering $9,000 up front. You guys are investing $3,000. Elite is $151,000 to $250,000 in sales. They're covering $13,500. You guys are at $4,500. This is for the whole year. not monthly, this is the whole year. Platinum, if you guys are doing 250,000 in sales plus, or commit to that, then it's 18 and 6. This is what's included. This is where the power comes in. First, a high efficiency website with lots of bells and whistles. You guys would have the best HVAC site in the industry. A consumer that is searching online is typically looking at 2 or 3 websites. I need them to instantly make a decision when they see your website. You're the most professional, looks like the most reputable, trustworthy, and I'm in. Easiest to contact. You don't make it difficult for the customer. So I'm going to show you some sample sites and give you an idea of all the different things that are included in that. Hosting, maintenance, backup support, security, all the stuff that's the technical aspects of maintaining the site, that's also included. Integrated CRM and scheduling system, that is cool. I'll explain more about that in a minute. You guys typically keep your data in your financial system. How many of you have a CRM system or a contact relationship management system that's outside of your accounting? So we have to get there. We have to get there. It's important that you guys track leads and opportunities the same way that you track customers. If you have 1,000 leads and opportunities over the last year that didn't do business with you, but you asked important information such as, how big is your house? How many square feet? How many rooms? What's your size unit do you have? Where is it located? How long do you plan on living in your house? How long have you owned your house? When was the last time you purchased an HVAC system? If somebody bought an HVAC system in 2012 or 12, I'll say this, 12 years ago, how much do you think it would cost? How much do you think they think it would cost? 12 years ago. The average consumer thinks they're going to spend $2,000 on their new system today if the last time they purchased one was 12 years ago. Is that important information to know going into it? Absolutely. Exactly. So you need to know these things up front, and it's really easy to be able to get this kind of information from them. And it can help guide your presentation when you're talking to them. You need to know how long they're going to own their house. So you know if you're looking at somebody that plans on staying there for a year. You need to know what their biggest concerns are. Is it money? Is it a financial issue? Is it that their husband has sleep apnea and can't sleep, or their kids have allergies, or they have pets, or this room is so cold that my toes are freezing at night and I hate this living room? These are real people with real issues. You need to know what they are. If you know what they are and you capture that information and you can put the math together, they may not have done business with you, but as you're sifting through that data, you could go through and see, you know what, I've got 40 people that are planning on owning their house for at least the next 5 years. They bought their house 5 years ago. I'm at that 10-year mark. They still don't have equipment, and their biggest issue was money. So now I'm going to call them up. I'm going to talk about the Green Sky financing program. I'm going to tell them about the great manufacturers incentives or rebates or discounts you guys have going on. I'm going to talk about how they can get into a system and why it's important. Is that information important to have? Yes. Absolutely. Okay. Next, setup and management of 50 local business listing accounts. I'll explain more about that in a minute. Facebook marketing program. You guys manage your Facebook accounts? So here's the thing. People want to know how much you care and how much other people trust you before they want to know how much you know. Think about that. If they're looking to see if other people trust you by glancing at your Facebook account and you have 12 likes and the last time you posted content was 2010, what do they immediately think about your business?
Yeah.
You're closed. And they would never call you and you would never know. So having a web company that just randomly puts up all your social media icons on your website because they're supposed to be there, but you have social media accounts that aren't being properly managed, can actually hurt your business, and you would never know how much business you lost from it. A consumer or a woman will absolutely leave in 2.5 seconds if they go there and they're like, ooh, last post was 4 years ago. No comments, no likes, no reviews. Okay. Next is a basic SEO plan. This is for 4 primary geo phrases. Okay. I'm going to explain more about that. Off-page SEO, which is content writing for backlinking. On-page blogging. Consumers, here's the cool part. Digital marketing is identical to offline marketing. A consumer wants to know primarily 3 main things. These are really important. How relevant are you? Do you know what you're talking about? right? Based on their needs, do you know what you're talking about? How current are you? Have you been in the business? How long have you been in the business? What do you know about new technologies and so forth, all these different advancements. They also want to know, do other people trust you? That's why they ask for testimonials, references, referrals, and so forth. Google wants the exact same thing. Identical. How relevant are you? What kind of content? So Google can't hear you. It's deaf and blind, so it can only read by Braille. So the content on your website has to be 100% relevant. So if Google's trying to sift through your site and they're trying to place your website in a different bucket, a different drawer, think of Google like a giant filing system. How many of you have seen Bruce Almighty? Do you remember that movie? So God was standing in this huge warehouse, and as soon as he came in, he was like, everything you've ever thought, everything you've ever said, everything you've ever done is in this drawer. And this drawer flies across this entire warehouse. You remember that? So that's Google. Every time you do a search, that drawer flies across the entire room, the entire warehouse, sometimes half the planet, with pieces of paper, i.e. web pages, that are in that drawer. In a filing system, the piece of paper has a label, the manila envelope has a label, the green hanging folder has a label, and the file drawer has a label, right? If I labeled a piece of paper, our services, and I handed it to you and I said, hey, what's your name?
Jeff.
Jeff. If I said, hey Jeff, do me a favor, go file this piece of paper right quick, and I want you to put it where in the future, like a year from now, if somebody's looking for a whole house indoor air quality filtration, that was a whole bunch of words, okay, that they could find it. How would you file it if the only label that you have is services? Services, our services, our services, our services, our services. Worst pages on an entire website. Home, about, mission, our company, our team, our services, our products, our promotions, FAQs. From a search engine optimization standpoint, Google can't file that. Well, it can, but it goes into this giant junk drawer with the other 2 billion websites that have the same pages. All right, so newsletter sign up, and then a whole bunch of additional things, you guys. The program is really set to be fundamentally exactly what you must, not need, what you must have, just the fundamentals. You have to have a professional website. That is the one thing that's out there working for you while you do everything else. Have you guys ever hired a salesperson? You like them? No offense, guys. Do they take vacations? Do they call in sick? They make up excuses? They lazy at times? They always dress sharp. You guys are absolutely awesome. Okay. Is your website identical to a salesperson with the exception that it does not take vacation, it does not call in sick, it always hopefully looks good. And it can sell for you 24 hours a day, even while your company is closed on holiday, vacation, and everything else. While everybody else is sleeping, it can work. Fair? So whatever you would tell your best salesperson that they must have in place, should you have the same expectations for your website? Should it look professional? Should it sound professional? Should it make themselves available via multiple methods, not just email, not just phone number, but if somebody wants to text your sales guy, should they have the ability to do that? Should they have the ability to reach out to them on Facebook if that's what the customer wants? So we have to make sure that the same expectations, it's no different than a salesperson. All right, so what's included in the website? First off, you guys, it's gonna be a totally custom design. It's gonna be mobile responsive, so it works on this device. Not a mobile version or HTML5 version, but a mobile responsive website, which Google says was required as of April of last year. Big announcement came out called Mobilegeddon, said we will penalize your website, drop it off the face of the planet at some point when we do a batch upgrade in your area if your site is not mobile responsive. Websites, you guys, the life expectancy on one is about 18 to 24 months. That's it. Why? What do you think? Out of date, yeah? How come?
People don't spend time on it.
Okay, people don't spend time on it?
Other heard people invest more money on their website, so, you know, they spend more time on it. Less interesting it looks to you, the less time you're gonna spend on it.
Fair?
Business changes, trends change, everything changes.
Everything changes. That's the best answer. Absolutely. Technology changes everywhere. Google's requirements change, your business changes, the demographics change. Most importantly, consumers continue to change the way that they search. How many of you want to be in business 1,000 days from now? 2,000. You want to retire and sell it? Awesome. I have a plan for that. We've done that. We just got one of our clients that's been with us for 10 years just got a really pretty penny offer on their company, and now her wife works for me. Okay, so his wife. Did I say her? Okay, so all right, everything changes, you guys. It's got to change. You can't have a website that longer than 18, 24 months anymore. Has to change. All right, next, ability to add unlimited pages and post, integrated blog and social media site. I said earlier, Google wants to know, are you current? Are you relative? That's the labeling of the content on the pages. Are you current? That's the frequency of new content going on the site. You said some people update theirs more than others. You have to. Google wants to know if you're current. And the third one is, are you trusted? That's backlinks and so forth, referrals, customer engagement, social media engagement, and so forth. That shows if you're current. So that's what a blog's for. HVAC troubleshooter, I'll show you that. We got to keep people on your site longer, give them a reason to think your site is important and necessary and useful, and they might come back. We don't want people to blow through your site and then just leave it alone. Next, HVAC terminology, FAQ, SARE calculator. Thank you guys. Somebody asked earlier, how can you show the consumer the overall value of purchasing a higher efficiency system? So that's one of the things that'll cover. You guys, we got to get to the point where when you're sitting down with a consumer, you guys are talking. First off, if you ask a consumer the right questions, they'll tell you how to sell them. They will absolutely tell you exactly how to sell them if you ask those questions and you listen up front. They will tell you what's more important. They will tell you what points to focus on. So if price is a focus, if monthly payment is a focus, if the cost of their energy bills is a focus, then being able to use a SARE calculator, the financing program, plus any promotions, discounts, and so forth, and that's what you're focusing on and what that high efficiency system is going to resolve for their family as far as problems. You're talking about little Johnny's allergies and how this is going to be so much better for him. You remember when I asked you if you guys are dads and everybody raised their hand like this, but I couldn't get you to even blink before? That's what people care about. Their kiddos, their spouse. All right, promotions page, reviews page, ability to submit Google Plus reviews. The reason why Google Plus is the #1 most important place to get reviews. A, Google is God in the digital marketing industry. B, every mobile search, the first search results that are coming up are from Google Maps. All right, next, day and night products page. It'll have everything already there for you. So when it comes down to showing brochures and being able to explain the different kinds of equipment and the benefits and so forth, all that information is there. So I'm gonna skip this and tell me about time. How long do we have? It's 12:03 now?
It's like 20 minutes.
20 minutes is good. All right, so let's wrap up and run right into some websites. And by the way, when lunch starts, are they eating in here?
Yes.
Food's out there eating in here. So if you'd like, I'll stay up here during lunch. If you guys have a website you want me to review, you can just drop your business card up here and I can go through and give you pointers and tips and so forth on your site. If you have a competitor's website you want to look at, and I can point out what's good, why it's good, and so forth, I can do that too. So I'll sit here during lunch so you guys can get the most out of your time here. All right, let's see here. So I'm just going to point out a handful of things that are critically important. Tempo, Tampa. No. Let's go AZ. Okay. So I'm going to show you some new sites that have launched. By the way, Everything changes constantly. The sites that our company built 2 years ago, I hate them. And whatever we build for you today, 2 years from now, what will I think? I will hate it. I'm telling you in advance, okay? So I'm going to show you some new, brand new out of the gate sites so you can get an idea. Because we do consumer focus groups, we're analyzing the data, the content, the conversions, we're analyzing Google Analytics, we're constantly, our business analysts are trying to evaluate what works, what do people want. And that's partially science, studying the data, our nerdy engineers, but it's also talking to consumers, asking questions, asking the people that matter. So on here, some things to point out. So every website, you guys in your industry especially, the header area is critical. The header area is everything you can see above the fold, that top section up there. They need to know instantaneously, the consumer needs to know, and I want you to think about this. When a consumer needs your help, you are one of 1,000 other tasks on their list. You think about the average consumer and what's running through their brain. Go back to dad, right? You gotta, oh my God, I gotta pick up the kids, I gotta get an oil change, I gotta make sure the kids are registered for basketball, I gotta pick up those cleats, oh, my boss wants me to submit this, I gotta make sure that I turn off the valve on, whatever it is. You guys, we're busy. We're busy, people are busy. Make it easy for people. Their time matters. So, first thing, they have to know who you are. They have to know what you do. Notice that it doesn't just say our services. We're not gonna make them hunt. Okay? They have to know where you do it. They have to know how to reach you, how to reach you, how to reach you, how to reach you, how to reach you. Everybody's different, you guys. If somebody's pulling up your site, the ability to be able to tap that number and place a call from their phone is critical. If your website is responsive and it reshapes itself, if this is an image and they can't tap it, they're gone. They're on to the next site and you'll never know they were there. Have you ever been searching for a website on your phone and you pulled it up and there's a phone number and you tap it? Nothing happens. Okay, you have to think like consumers. They get aggravated easy. All right, schedule service. It's more for an existing customer. Make a home for them. Get an estimate, online estimate. Hey, same thing. And this one's a little bit different. So they've got tons of phone numbers. It's so weird because the projector shrinks everything. But over here on the right, so we've talked a little bit about Google+. #1 place to get reviews, because the more Google+ business reviews you have, and Google Business Listing is free. Getting reviews on your Google Business Listing account helps your SEO or your organic performance improve, helps your pay-per-click improve. It helps your website be found on mobile searches faster, helps your Google Business Listing search show up in Google's rankings. So that's #1. Yelp and all those, yeah, they're good, but they're also filled with tons of your competitors. So do I say it's priority? Absolutely not. Your Google Business Listing, absolutely a priority. How many of you are on Angie's List? Who can see Angie's List reviews?
They're changing.
Yeah, members at this point. So if you want to look, does Angie's List ever show up for a search? So that's the difference between a private membership directory that is not search engine optimized. It's like taking this, dropping in a coffee can. You can't see what's inside it. So they're hiding those internal contents from Google because their business model is to make you pay for a membership to access the content, versus it being public content that people can search and crawl. So you want to be careful with that. Next, when somebody comes to the site, we've got to give your customers. So one of the things I mentioned was the CRM system and scheduling system. Over here on the right-hand side, these icons and this icon, this is what that is from the front office, the front end. You guys have 2 types of scheduling that have to occur within your company. You have a back office function, which is on the operations side, which is dispatching. That's sending people to jobs. You have an operation, or you have a sales function on the front end, which is sales appointments, talking to consumers about projects, potential projects, estimates, problems, and answering their questions. You want to give people the ability to schedule time with you for in the future. How many of you have done a search online, found a website, got distracted or had to run downstairs to help with dinner or something, and then you went back to go try and find that website and you can't remember what you searched for, and you can't find that site again? Anyone? Yes? Thank you. So give them the ability to come to your website, click schedule now. They can choose time to talk to you. Everybody's not going to place a phone call right out of the gate. Everybody's different. Some people would rather set up time. You get a high D personality, somebody is really busy, these are CEOs, executives, and so forth. They're going to be more likely to do a little bit of research, potentially schedule time in the future when they have time. So they can say, I want to talk to you about, I need a consultation. We just bought a new house. We're interested in installing a new system. I can talk to you on Friday at 1 o'clock, or I can talk to you on Monday at 9:30 in the morning. Continue, fill out my information. You guys receive a request. You get a request on a text message. You also get a request on, in email. Let me see if I can find one very quickly. Okay, so right here you're gonna see, this is our appointment requests. So this is Danny. Okay, so this is one of our clients, mechanical company. So they got a request. The client wants to talk March 17th at 8 a.m., 15-minute phone call, and so forth. This one, proposed time, it's 1 hour, and so forth. Once you get the appointment, you have the ability to accept the appointment, decline the appointment, or review online. This takes every single new lead and opportunity and puts it into a database. And it tells you where it came from. So the source URL, this came from their Get Estimate page. So you can literally track down to each individual page by putting a widget on it. Which page drove the consumer to contact you? Is that important? Absolutely. So pay-per-click, that has its own forms, its own landing page. Everything pay-per-click goes here. Organic, everything goes here. And every single lead has to be tracked and measured. Once somebody fills that form out, it goes into a back office. It looks like this. Inside this back office, you can see every single appointment request, every lead, every opportunity sitting in one database. You can import, you can export. You ever decide you want to do email marketing, you can export them to an email marketing system. You can invite people to be able to book an appointment with you. So if somebody does call you on the phone, how many of you struggle with getting people's email addresses? Yes. So you can absolutely type in their email address and just tell them over the phone, hey, you guys, I'm going to send you a quick message, and it's a link to my scheduling system. You guys can choose what time works best for you for us to come out. Okay? Send them a quick. You can create the client inside the system. You also, once you're in the system, let me go back to inbox. So this is new appointment request, new appointment request, new appointment request, new appointment request. So we live by this. Our livelihood is this system. You can respond back and forth to the customer. So this is, the customer had initial information or initial request. You can click on the client's information. You can see any information that came from them. You can see any bookings, any appointments that have been made, any payments. You guys can actually, if you want to turn on this function, you can take payments online. So if you want to send somebody a quick invoice, you can do it right through the system, take the payment online if that's easier for them and you. You can share documents back and forth. Here's the easy part about that. So if I say new, I want to share a new document, I can add the document here. This is why this is so important. When a consumer comes to your site, or a customer, or you go out and you install a new system, let's stick with that. If you send your quote or your estimate through your website and tell your client they can access it through the My Account area, that's the first step to hooking them into the site. Their account is created when they were a lead, then you sent the estimate this way. Your contract, your maintenance agreement. So do you think consumers love keeping track of paperwork? Go back to Dad. How do you enjoy keeping track of all the warranties and paperwork and maintenance plans and the thing that came with this that you're supposed to fill out and submit in, and the instructions and all that crap? Like, do you love it? No. Your consumers don't either. Your customers don't. So make it easy. Make a digital copy, drop it into the system, and tell them, you guys, here's a folder, everything's in here. Don't mail it out. You don't need to spend money on that. Here's a folder, everything's in here. However, you could just tell them, Which would you prefer? Would you rather have a print copy or would you rather have a digital copy of all your paperwork? If they don't want a print copy, why give it to them? How many people actually ask them and give them an option? Does it save you money if you don't have to print? If you don't have to mail? If you don't have the time? Become more operationally efficient, the technology should help you do that. So when a customer comes back to the site, they can go in here and they can see all of the documents that have ever been shared. Quotes, estimates, contracts, warranties, maintenance, financing information, your maintenance plan. How many of you have a maintenance plan? Charging credit cards on a monthly basis? Automated. I love residual income. That's good, okay? That's important. We need to do that. That will save you during a downfall or spring, huh? To have income coming in. All right. Also, do something simple. Take a picture of the air filter with the dimensions on it, upload it into the system, and tell them, you guys, no, it's a pain to remember this. If they're not on a maintenance program, it's a pain. Give them the ability to go to the site, download the picture. Next time they're at Home Depot and it's on the list and they don't want to come home without it one more time or their wife will kill them, they remember, oh, I got this app. Let me just go to my HVAC site. I can pull it right from there and I know what it is. Is that going to help the consumer?
Yes.
Make a relationship with them. Make it easy. All right, same thing here. Now, on the site, little things that are important. So, troubleshooting system. Here's the challenge with a website. I'll go to another one so you can see different versions. When you have a website that has everything a customer wants and they're instantly pleased, they feel good, because that's what drives them, is it's how they feel first. Problem is they're out of here quickly. And that doesn't help your SEO, so we got to figure out creative ways to keep them on your site. Here are some of the things that you guys will have on your website. One, you'll have this troubleshooting system. This originally started because we're managing your guys' 60 local listings accounts, and we're also managing all of the reviews that come in. So we'll make sure every time you get a positive review that we take that review, send it to the social media guys, they make a pretty graphic, they post it on your social media accounts, they post it on your local listing accounts, post it on your website. You don't have to think about that. When we see reviews come in and they're negative, and there's two primary, what do you think the two biggest reasons for negative reviews are in your industry? Late. Late's number one. The second one is that they got a service fee for you coming out and flipping a switch, flipping a breaker, changing a thermostat battery, and they're pissed. So the worst thing you could do is get a negative review for something that silly, right? It's permanent. It's there forever. So that's originally where this started, but it's increased the time online, which really helps everything else. So they can come here and they can click on, what are you having a problem with? Air conditioning, my AC isn't working. This may be caused by, make sure your thermostat is turned on, set the grease here, and so forth. So we're not going to send them into the attic, but give them the basic things. Do you have a battery? Is it turned on? Is your power plugged in? Did it solve your problem? No. Is the outdoor unit running? No. Check your circuit breaker. Try flipping on and off the switch. Did it fix the problem? No. Is air coming out of your vents? Is there ice on the unit? Sounds like you need expert care. Now, if I went back and answered it differently, it's going to continue to walk them through. So it'll either say, sounds like you need the expert care, schedule an appointment now, or it's going to tell them, I'm glad this was helpful and we were able to fix your problem. Bookmark our sites in case you need to use this again in the future. You never got the customer, fine. But what you want is them to bookmark it and come back. You want them to remember you. Make sense? Okay. Other little things, I guess they're big things. You guys, you got to have the ability to have people apply for financing on the site, and I want you to have the lead first. Then send them the information to Green Sky or financing. Was it real when he asked how many of you are using financing? Only 2 people raised their hands. Is that real, or are you guys just arms lazy? How many of you are really using financing programs or making it available? Yes? No?
I have my own financing.
Okay. So do I. Okay. That's interesting. All right. Troubleshooter SARE calculator. If you combine the combination of your initial interview with the customer, your discounts, promotions, and so forth, with the SARE calculator, And you're able to show them how much their annual savings is depending on the efficiency level of their system and so forth. These things absolutely can help you present a better value proposition versus sell. Makes sense? You're not focused on the price, you're focusing on the value proposition, all the things that are included. HVAC, FAQ, terminology. You guys use a lot of acronyms, as do I. You need to have an area on the site. Is this great for SEO? Not in this format, no. It would need to be an individual blog post format, but it's really easy for the consumers to use. Same thing with terminology. If you guys start throwing out words like SARE and BTU, the average person has no clue what you're talking about. So it just gives them a quick reference way to be able to determine what's what. Everything's already in the site, it's already built, it's there. We had one of your Ferguson's dealers actually go and they took our proposal and all the functionality in it, and they went and had 3 other agencies bid on this website with all of the functionality that's included in it. The lowest bid they got back was $30,000, which I thought was really cool. That's power. Okay, I'm excited. Okay, so any questions on this? Make sense? It's a pretty good deal, huh? All right, really quick and we're out of here. 5 minutes? 3 minutes? All right, when you go to Google, we'll go air conditioner repair, PLE. Thank you. I want you to know enough about SEO to be dangerous, okay? Search engine optimization and Google's rankings. There's really a couple ways to make money, period, from a marketing standpoint. Just a couple. One is show up in this area with a really good converting landing page and special offer. There has to be a brain behind pay-per-click. This is pay-per-click. If somebody clicks on this link, it will cost this person $4, $3, $7, $2, 99 cents, whatever the price is for that particular phrase. Okay? It's going to deduct. You want it to go to a landing page only talking about that particular offer. If you have pay-per-click going to the front end of your site, yes, it's not going to work. If you have it going to a random place or you don't have a special offer, or there's no brain behind it, just schedule an appointment for anything. We do everything. It's like walking into a consumer's house and going, hi, I have services. Blink. Doesn't work, okay? So I'll give you one quick example of a landing page. Yesterday, we met with one of your dealers that they got hooked into somebody's pay-per-click plan. Here's some things to avoid. Don't let them make you landing pages on other websites that they own. Ever. Landing pages are on your website. You own it. That's your asset. You have to own that. Don't ever let them do that. I literally did an evaluation for somebody that had at least 12 websites that were owned by somebody else. So if he ever stops paying them, they're going to take those 12 websites and they're going to do what with them? They're going to reassign them to some other HVAC company, and 100% of the money you spent is gone. Ixnay. Versus if he would have took the same dollar and he would have invested it into his website, the one he owns, you don't have that risk. You have to be so careful. These guys, you guys have a giant target on your back for every scam that's out there. How many of you get calls from Google?
All the time.
They will never call you. Google will never call you. Every one of those is a scam. Every one of them is a scam. I literally have myself on video when they call in. I ask them tons of questions. It's all over YouTube as far as, really, so you work for Google? Awesome. So can I get your Google email address at Google? And I'm going through this whole thing. So you're telling me you saved me a #1 position on Google, right? You saved it. Okay. They're not telling the truth. If they want to build a website for you and they want to own your domain name or buy it for you out of convenience, I'll save you some time. Say no, run. If they want to give you a phone number that they own, run. Okay? You don't want any of these things. Those are permanent on Google attached to your name, but calling somebody else's phone number in the same industry and neighborhood. Don't do it. Be very careful. All right, so this is a landing page. Notice it's on this guy's main website, but the Navigation is removed. This particular landing page is only about AC repair. Same thing, he's got them for everything. He's got them for hot water heater replacements. He's got everything is really, really specific. And if somebody fills out that form, it only goes there. That's pay-per-click. Okay, small percentage of leads. Here's the difference. We can go after hundreds of key phrases, and you guys can be generating leads quickly. This doesn't take a lot of time. This is just design a landing page, set it up, do your research. Sorry, $4. Oh, totally didn't mean to click that. So it doesn't mean. All right, next area, this right here, this is Google Business Listing, Google Maps. You have to have a physical address in that particular city. Has to be in that city. This is free to set up. Get your reviews here because this gives you an additional place on Google. If customers are going to Google, they're typing in, they're searching from their phone, is it important to show up here? Absolutely. Third is organic listings. Okay, on here you have local business listing, local business listing, local business listing, local business listing, Better Business Bureau, $500, A+ rating. Service Champions, Diamond Certified, Report, that's interesting. Richards, Walnut. There are a huge amount of consumers that are never going to touch Yelp. Go after them, get the organic listing. The ones that are going to go to Yelp, have the listing, have it set up. Okay, Yelp is one of the 60 business listings. You guys get calls from these companies? Okay, part of what's included in this plan is all 50 plus, there's actually 60, but sometimes we get turned down. Every one of these is included in the plan. We set it up, manage it, optimize it, monitor all of your reviews, and again, positive reviews, we help you promote them. You don't have to even think. You don't have to tell us what to do. And we promote them on your social media sites and so forth. If you were to subscribe to each one of these independently, how much do you think it would cost you? It's thousands, tens of thousands of dollars per month. So we manage your reviews, your social media, Facebook, you don't even have to think about it. Okay, we generate all the content, make sure it looks professional, make sure there's content coming on a regular basis, all your holidays, tips and tricks, facts, discounts, rebates, testimonials, everything is on your Facebook. You don't even have to blink, and it's just handled. Do you ever want to turn on any of the other social media channels? It's $25 a month to add it, and we take care of posting to all of those as well. You guys have a lot of power in this program. I don't know if you've ever priced out social media. All right, that being said, how many of you guys are interested? Awesome. So this is how this works. Couple things. One, we're going to do an interview with you. And I have a woman, Ann Powers, she's going to do the initial interview and do an evaluation of your current site and so forth. I'm going to jump in and help as well. And you guys are going to have a meeting with your sales reps to talk to them about the program, what your commitment level is, apply for the program. You guys get accepted in the program and boom, we're in Lake Flynn. A couple ways to register. One, we need your business card. I don't need to take it, I'm just going to take a picture of it and send it to Ann. And she'll call you and set up time for us to do the interview. Hey, it's really easy. And the more we know about your business, where you want to go, what your goals are, you wanting to sail off into the sunset and retire, I love that. Okay? The more we know, the more we can help you. Again, we're not just an ad agency or marketing agency. We're a group of entrepreneurs that know how to run a business, so we can help with other things, database management, stuff that's way outside of this. Take down this website. You guys can take your phone, just snap a picture of this because it's easy. Go to fergusonbdc.com, and on the website it says register. So register there, fill out that form, then all your information's in there. It's going to ask how many trucks do you have, how many techs do you have, about your service areas, how many locations, just general information. Fill that out, and then combined between us and your guys' sales reps, we'll get you going in the program. Is this helpful? Yes? Awesome. Thank you very much.